and welcome to Children's Story House. Every story here is full of magic and heart. So get comfy and let's begin. The North Wind and the Sun. Once upon a time, high above the earth, lived the mighty North Wind and the radiant Sun. They were both powerful forces of nature, each believing they were the strongest. The North Wind, impatient and proud, boasted loudly, "Of course, I'm the strongest. With one mighty breath, I can make the trees bend, rivers churn, and the earth tremble." The Sun, however, only smiled warmly and replied in a calm, steady voice, "True strength is not about frightening others. Real power is about inspiring people to open their hearts willingly. My warmth makes flowers bloom, fruit ripen, and it brings smiles to people's faces." The North Wind snorted angrily and glared at the Sun, unwilling to admit defeat. And so, they decided to settle their argument with a contest. Just as they were quarreling, a weary traveler appeared on the road below. He trudged forward slowly, weighed down by his heavy pack. His thick cloak was wrapped tightly around him to shield him from the chill. The North Wind's eyes gleamed. "Perfect," he thought. "I'll blast him with my fiercest winds and tear that cloak right off his back. Then the Sun will know who's truly the strongest." The Sun simply gave a quiet smile and whispered to himself, "Patience, North Wind. Real strength isn't about force. It's about warmth and kindness." So, the two made a pact. Whoever could make the traveler remove his cloak would be declared the winner. The sky grew still, and all that could be heard was the traveler's footsteps and the quiet anticipation of the contest about to begin. The North Wind roared triumphantly. "Watch this!" He drew in a deep breath and blew with all his might. At once, the forest shook and the dust rose in the clouds. Leaves scattered wildly, spinning in the air as the branches groaned under the force. The poor traveler staggered and nearly fell to the ground. His cloak flapped and tugged in the wind, but he grabbed it with both hands and pulled it tighter around him. "I must hold on," he thought desperately, "or I'll freeze in this cold." The harder the North Wind blew, the tighter the traveler clung to his cloak. The wind stung his face like icy knives, but no matter how fiercely it blew, the traveler only hunched down further, determined not to give in. The North Wind grew red with anger. "How can this be? I've used all my strength, yet he clings to it even more," he muttered, frustrated. Finally, breathless and exhausted, he had to stop, stamping his foot in defeat. Just then, the clouds parted, and a warm golden light spilled across the land. The Sun's gentle face shone as he said kindly, "It seems force cannot win. Now, let me try." Unlike the North Wind, the Sun didn't roar or rage. He simply glowed, radiating warmth across the countryside. The gray sky turned golden, and the earth seemed to wake up again. The grass sparkled green, nodding as if to welcome the light. Birds soared upward, singing joyfully as if thanking the Sun for his gentle touch. The traveler felt the warmth seep into his shoulders like a comforting hand. His stiff body slowly relaxed, and a peaceful sigh escaped his lips. A smile spread across his face, not from fear, but from comfort. As the warmth grew stronger, the traveler realized he no longer needed his heavy cloak. In fact, it made him feel hot and weighed down. He paused, lifted his head toward the brilliant sky, and smiled with relief. With slow, steady hands, he loosened the cloak and slipped it off, feeling lighter than ever. "Ah, that's better," he sighed, stretching his arms. He slung the cloak casually over his shoulder and walked on, his steps now light and carefree. He even began to hum a little tune as he continued his journey. And above him, the sun looked on, like a gentle friend keeping him company. The sun hadn't ordered him or forced him. He simply offered warmth and patience, and the traveler chose on his own to let go of his burden. The north wind stood silently, stunned by what he had seen. He had used all his might, but failed. The sun had done nothing but smile and shine. And still, the traveler had gladly given up his cloak. At last, the north wind understood. True strength isn't about making others afraid or forcing them to obey. Real strength is about making them feel safe, so they choose to change willingly. He let out a long sigh. His fierce pride faded, replaced by quiet thoughtfulness. Looking toward the sun's radiant glow, he felt, for the first time, a sense of admiration. From that day on, the north wind never argued with the sun about who was stronger. He knew the sun had not only won the contest, but also the traveler's heart. Dear children, this is the story of the north wind and the sun. It teaches us something important, that force and threats cannot truly change others. Actions done out of fear only bring resistance. But warmth and kindness, these are the powers that can open hearts. Just like the sun, a gentle smile and a caring spirit can inspire people far more than any harsh command. You see, the north wind, though fierce and mighty, failed. But the sun, with only a smile and soft rays, succeeded. So remember, little ones, warm hearts are stronger than cold force. When you offer a kind word to a friend or share a cheerful smile, that warmth can be more powerful than the loudest shout. Let us all try to be like the sun, spreading kindness and warmth wherever we go. That way, each of us can be a little sun, bringing light and joy to the world. Thanks for watching Children's Story House. Don't forget to dream big and be kind. If you enjoyed our story, please give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next adventure.